This is a training video for the Regional Connectivity Work Group on how to use Basecamp and Google Docs and Google Sheets to review draft element chapters and offer comments back. So the first thing you should notice is that you got an email invitation from Ted Labby, that's me, inviting you to Basecamp. And you should have also separately received invitations to the RCWG Strategic Action Plan Element 1, Spatial Data, Science, Research, Narrative, and a separate invitation for the Actions table. And those last two are from Google Docs and Google Sheets. So here's my email inviting myself to Basecamp. I'm going to click on that email and it asks me if I want to join Ted in Basecamp. I'll click on that link and I come to this screen if this is the first time I've ever been into Basecamp, and I'll say I want to make a new account with my email. I'm going to use my alternative name, Lead Cable, and it defaults to my email and asks me to use a password and confirm that password. Once I've done that, I'm into the application, Basecamp. So this is to be, you see your home screen, and you'll see this box at the bottom of your screen which is titled the RCWG Strategic Action Plan. Click on that box. And this has got a whole bunch of tools Basecamp does, and we're not using those. The main folder that you want to see here is Docs and Files. You'll see a whole long list of folks that are in this project. Don't worry about that, but just click on this Docs and Files folder. And this is hierarchical. So inside the Docs and Files folder, there are 3 separate folders. One for the steering committee. One includes all access docs that anyone can access. These are sort of background documents, meeting minutes, presentations that have been given at meetings. And then the third one that's the most important for you to know about is the Strategic Action Plan documents. And I'm going to go there next. That's where you'll find the documents that you'll be reviewing and commenting on. Before I go there, let me just show you, give you a quick tour of all access docs. You'll see inside all access docs 7 more folders, I'm sorry, 6 more folders and a document, Strategic Action Plan Parking Lots. Know that the organization of these might be changing over time, but this is where you'll go to get kind of background information on, for instance, the open standards process we're thinking about implementing, related efforts like we heard about at our last meeting from Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, quarterly meeting minutes, timelines, roles, responsibilities for all of us, the basic how-to document on that was shared by Lori after our last meeting on how to use Basecamp and Google Docs, that lives on Basecamp, and more on the RCWG background. So I'm going to go back now to the Docs and Files folder where we were. I went up a level by clicking on this link at the top of this. And I'm going to go right now to the Strategic Action Plan documents, which is what you're going to be commenting on. I forgot to do one thing, and I forgot to show you how to control the notifications in Basecamp. This is a very important thing you should do at the very beginning before you start using Basecamp. It sends you lots of annoying emails on a daily basis, and I want to show you how to turn that off. So before we get into the reviewing the docs and shifting over to how to use Google Docs, I want to show you how to change and alter the notifications within Basecamp. Notice at the top right corner of your screen your initials. My fake initials here are Lead Cable, so I'm going to click on that, and it says notifications are on, and I want to go to here, change your notification settings. That will bring you to this page, and these are the default settings. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change these default settings to what I suggest you use so that you don't become overwhelmed by emails by Basecamp. First thing I want to do, what? I would suggest you change that. Only notify me when someone sends me a ping or mentions me. Scroll down to how. I would suggest turning off pop-up notifications. You can also turn this off. I like to get notified, but not very often. One option would be just to turn that off entirely. I would suggest if you leave it on to go all the way down to the bottom and say work can wait only during work hours. And I like to turn it so that I only get one email a week that kind of updates me on what's been happening. And so that's the setting that will do that for you right there. And then once you've done that, so change your what to only notify me when someone sends me a ping or mentions me. How, send me an email notification. You can turn that off if you really don't want to hear it at all. And when, work can wait, only during my work hours from 9 to 5, Monday. Catch me if anything happened after hours. If you really want to tune it down low, change this to 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. once a week on Monday. And you'll get one email a week, just kind of catching you up. Now I'm going to save my settings and confirm that's right. You always want to hit this down at the bottom, save my settings. You learn you have to always confirm what you're doing at the bottom. And that looks good. So I'm going to go back to the home screen and I'm going to go back to the RCW Strategic Action Plan Project. I'm going to click on Docs and Files. I'm going to go into this, then I'm going to go into the Strategic Action Plan Documents. All right, and now we're ready to shift into how to use Google Docs to offer comments to the various teams. Our first team has their documents ready. Thanks, Lori, and your group. We're going to be looking at spatial data, research, and science documents, so we'll click on that folder. That takes us into their folder. And this way I'm showing you, you can use this route to get into the documents. You can also go directly from your email. So going back to my email screen for a second, I received an email invitation to a Google Doc and an email invitation to a Google Sheets. You can click on those links from here in your email program. That's for the Google Doc, and that's for Google Sheets. And you can always just hold on to these emails if that's an easier way for you to interface with these documents. But from within Basecamp, you can also access them. So I'm going to go on the draft element 1, spatial data, research, and science, and open this up. And it says, do I want to view this on Google? You click on that link. When you click on those links in Basecamp, you are taken to the RCWG Strategic Action Plan Element 1. And you'll see this screen for the narrative. You'll notice on the screen, you'll see we're in you are suggesting mode. And so you'll be able to add comments anywhere in this text if you have thoughts or feedback for the group. So for instance, if you wanted to say something about the notes that Lori and her team put up front, you would click where you would like to put your comment, click the cursor where you'd like to put the comment, and then you would go to the top right corner of your screen, open the comments thread, and you'll see comments that others have made, and then you will add a comment, and it'll be attached to that location in the text where we clicked. So I'm going to add a comment on this, and I'd like to say, hey Lori and team, I'd like to hear more about what you mean by, quote, etc, just to create a meaningless comment. And then click the blue button comment, and that adds your comment to that specific place in the text. We're looking for specific comments in specific locations of the text, and that's how you do it. I'm going to do that again so you can see how that works. So let's say I don't know what glossary is. I'll highlight glossary this time. I could click right after the Y. You can also highlight the word and say I want to add a comment. You can go up here to the top Or when you highlight an area, you have the option of adding the comment right there, and you can say, what do you mean by glossary? Are we really going to have a glossary for this document? And then click the blue comment, and that will finalize the comment. So that's how you add comments in Google Docs, and that's all you need to know right now on Google Docs. So having shown you that, I'm going to go back to Basecamp and take you back to the other document that Lori's team is looking for feedback on, and we'll go back up to the Strategic Research and Science folder, and we'll open up the table of actions, which is this table, and we'll view it on Google. Now, very similarly, this opens up the table in Google Docs, and you'll see we're in comment only mode, which is the green here. We don't need to see the power of pivot tables, so I'm going to dismiss this note. And similarly, this is like a spreadsheet. This is our table of actions. And you can add comments. You can highlight cells here. And you can, where you want to put your comment, go up here to this comment icon at the top right corner, click on that, and add a comment. And you're going to add a comment to individual cells. Hey, Lori and team, please tell me more about the completed connectivity toolkit guidebook. What is in there? These are all meaningless comments, okay, so don't put any stock in this. So the point is, I've just added a little comment for Lori and her team to an individual cell, and that's how you do it in the sheet. So it's slightly different process for commenting than in the documents, but it's similar. I'll click another cell, and I will make a comment on that. Add comment. Is this enough money? And then I'll click on the blue. There we go. Now I'm not quite sure why I'm showing up as anonymous here, but hopefully your name will display and be associated with all your comments. I'm going to look into that next, but those are the basic workflows you need to do to make comments on the RCWG documents. This same process will be the same that you'll use on the subsequent chapters, and those will be going back to Basecamp. I'm going to go back to Basecamp. Now those will also be housed in these different folders. So we're working right now on the spatial data folder, but the next two up that we'll be working on are conservation management stewardship chapters and this one. These are all in draft form right now, not yet ready, but the point is when they are ready, you'll go into each of these folders, 2 and 3, and subsequent to that, folders 4 and 5 will have documents for you to review and comment on. And that's it, folks. If you have any other comments, please email or call Ted. If you're struggling to gain access, also contact me, and you have my contact information. And thanks for providing feedback on the Regional Connectivity Workgroup.